It's to the point where Fran Brown actually said that Nelson is competing with Steve Angeli to be Syracuse's starting quarterback next season. He also did praise the Kennesaw State transfer Amari Odom and Georgetown transfer Danny Lauder, but mainly this is going to be focused on what he had to say about Malachi Nelson. All right? So here's the takeaway about Malachi Nelson. If he ends up resurrecting his career and does well for Syracuse football, I will be thrilled. And as a Syracuse fan who's probably watching and listening to this right now, you will be thrilled as well. We're all rooting for Malachi Nelson. We all want him to be successful. We want everyone on Syracuse to be successful. We want the team to win, and the only way the team is going to win is if they have as many players be successful as possible. So obviously, we want Malachi Nelson to be really good. We want Fran Brown's words to actually translate to the field. Malachi Nelson was a 5-star quarterback in 2023 out of high school. He has been with 3 programs in 3 years: USC, Boise State, and UTEP this past season. Malachi Nelson, here's the reality. He did absolutely nothing at USC. He goes to Boise State, loses the starting quarterback job in a fall camp battle, loses it. So he was a backup for most of the year. He did nothing for Boise State, a team that actually ended up being in the college football playoff, mainly because they had a running back by the name of Ashton Genty. And then he transfers all the way to UTEP. I mean, quite the fall. You go from a 5-star quarterback to USC to a backup quarterback to Boise State, and now you're at UTEP. Okay, what does he do at UTEP? Not good. He actually got benched at UTEP. His stats in 6 games, less than 1,200 passing yards, 8 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, a less than 55% completion percentage. So here is the reality with Malachi Nelson. I get what Fran Brown is saying, but until further notice, there is absolutely no reason to believe in him. I'm rooting for him. I want him to be successful. Trust me, I do. But stop it. He is not competing with Steve Angeli to be the starting quarterback. Steve Angeli, if healthy, is Syracuse's starting quarterback. Period. End of story. The guy has results. In limited playing time at Notre Dame, he was really good. The only reason why he didn't get on the field at Notre Dame is because they are Notre Dame. That's why. But whenever he was called upon, he was effective. When he was with Syracuse last year, aside from maybe one shaky half against UConn, he was impressive through 4 games. He was leading the nation in passing. If Steve Angeli is healthy, and that's the key, if healthy, he's the starting quarterback. Malachi Nelson is not pushing him to be the starter. So I get Fran Brown is trying to publicly uplift his players. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he shouldn't do that. I mean, of course he should. Of course he should uplift his players and tell his players that, hey, you are competing to be the starting quarterback. Because you don't want Malachi Nelson to come in here thinking that he's only going to be the backup. You want him to believe that he can be a starter if he does play well. Because here's the reality. Results speak for themselves. If Steve Angeli struggles, maybe Malachi Nelson is forced into action. And if he plays well, he'll have the job. He'll be the quarterback. But if you're going to sit here and say that he's actually pushing him right now, I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. And if you're going to sit here and disagree with me, that's okay. But I will remind you that last year, Fran Brown was publicly praising Ricky Collins, calling it a quarterback battle between him and Steve Angeli, how it was basically neck and neck, and how it was a very close battle, and he ultimately went with Steve Angeli because of the experience factor. Turns out, when they actually were on the field, Steve Angeli was miles ahead of Ricky Collins. Miles ahead. It wasn't even close, the 2 quarterbacks. So I get it with Fran Brown. He wants to publicly praise Malachi Nelson, but there is absolutely no way I'm going to buy into him. Absolutely zero. I won't buy into him until we actually see him on the field and actually produce for Syracuse. Because as of right now, if he's on the field for Syracuse, the only scenario in which that is a good thing for this team is if this team is up by 40 points in the fourth quarter, they're resting Steve Angeli because you don't want him on the field in garbage time. So they decide, all right, let's throw to Malachi Nelson. Other than that, if he's in the game, this team is in big trouble, huge trouble. He has not worked at any of his other three schools. I'd love for him to put it together. Fran Brown's going to publicly praise him all he wants. I'm not buying it one bit.